TJ Watt gets an extension. He is now the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. And I think that the simple talking point here is the man deserves it. There apparently is being a debate had at the moment. Should he have been paid more, and does he deserve to be paid more than Myles Garrett? The current hierarchy of highest paid non-quarterbacks in the NFL with this 3-year, $123 million extension as he's turning 31 in October, it is him at the top, $41 million per year, $40.25 for Jamar Chase, and $40 million per year for Myles Garrett. Watt has led the NFL in the past 5 seasons in sacks with 73.5. So he's been on a prolific run of sack getting. I don't know how anyone can do the whole dance of how are you going to pay TJ Watt more? How TJ Watt doesn't deserve to have more money than Myles Garrett. They're both equally good. They're both making the same damn money, but it's off by $1 million. That's pennies for these dudes. Why are we having this debate?
Because I think they share the vision. They're both two mega alphas at the position, and TJ Watt does deserve just a smidge more money because TJ Watt, granted, with the team's position that he's on, the Steelers being a better team than the Browns, has the capability to actually win the Steelers games, whereas all of Myles Garrett's spectacular plays go for naught most of the time. His forced fumbles, his incredible sacks, his just getting in the quarterback's face, all of it, the pressures, great stuff. Numbers are great. Everything checks boxes. But the Browns have been so bad that they can't capitalize on getting a return from Myles Garrett. Whereas TJ Watt, he'll win you a ball game because he can take over 2 to 3 drives on his own, give it back to the offense. Pittsburgh can convert at least 1 to 2 scores off of that, the extra possessions that he's giving them. So I would think TJ Watt has won more games for the Steelers than Myles Garrett has won for the Browns. Thereby, I would give him more money, even though athletically you couldn't find 2 pass rushers that are closer together in the talent gap.
Right. I'm like always so surprised that like when we land in this situation of like who deserves to be the highest paid, who's the better pass rusher, they've both reached like this high point in their careers where they've been incredibly dominant. TJ Watt is the most important player for the Steelers franchise at the current moment. There is a chance, a stronger chance, that as he starts to age, he's probably going to slow down. This is one of those deals, we kind of talked about this with Terry McLaurin, where you've done so much for this team, you have earned the right to get this massive final contract. I believe if he's got 3 more years coming up, he'll be 34 by the time that this deal is done. And then at that point, he's not going to be getting any crazy money. He's probably going to be slowly dwindling away. No pass rusher really ends up being as explosive at 34 years old. There's a guy we're going to talk about in a second, Von Miller, who has quite literally this happened to him where he really rapidly started to slow down. But I'm glad that they got this done. That is the other part of this. I'm glad that they got it done now before training camp, that there was a sense of urgency, that the communication was pretty direct. Hey, I'm not coming to workouts. And this is my shot firing of saying I'm not coming to training camp if you do not get this worked out. Thus, get this figured out as quickly as possible. And Omar Khan did it, got the deal done. He is not going to be a distraction. I am surprised the most, Sean, that there's no distractions for the Steelers. Right now, at the current moment, there's no distractions. George Pickens is gone. DK Metcalf comes in. You bring in Jalen Ramsey. You bring in Aaron Rodgers. With all the chances for there to be distractions, somehow we are in a spot where there are none.
The fans for Pittsburgh have been distractions with TJ Watt lately. And last season, especially, Pittsburgh has great fans. The Steelers fans, everybody will acknowledge that fan base runs deep, but they get spoiled sometimes. And when I start seeing people talking about the defense was more productive with TJ Watt off the field and TJ Watt we shouldn't pay him, you're ridiculous. You have a player that can win games and who can actually take over. If you watch a full Steelers game, there's going to be 2 to 3 plays where you notice TJ Watt's impact just tangibly. You don't get that with every defensive lineman in the NFL. Keeping a guy that's distraction-free also is massive. It's just good. It's a good, solid play. It's a sound play. And guess what? Good organizations make the good, sound plays. Are we surprised, Joe, that the Steelers make this play and looking at their counterparts in division with Cincinnati, they still can't make a play on their star pass rusher. Good organization, shit organization. And one is still maintaining. Pittsburgh is maintaining. Cincinnati, with their decisions and player management, declining.
So actually, that's like a really good angle to bring up here. This tanks, like this really screws the Bengals because Hendrickson, his representatives are going to be able to say he is younger than TJ Watt, which I believe he's younger. I think he's 29 or 30, if you could quickly check that really quick. And he's been like up even with him
30
in sack production over the past couple of seasons. He just got the most money out of any pass rusher, out of any non-quarterback. Hendrickson now there's no leg to stand on by the Bengals to not give Hendrickson something north of 35 or even higher. And he should be asking for way more than 35 because Garrett gets the big deal in the same division. Watt gets the same deal in the same division. Hendrickson better get traded. Like, I think that the Bengals need to shit or get off the pot and stop playing around with this.
Yeah, because what are you getting right now? We're getting so close to training camp.
They're not going to pay this.
You walking into training camp. Oh God, I love this move. The more that I think about, look at this, the Bengals, the more I like what the Steelers did because you're not walking into training camp with this looming. Like Dallas last year, they walked through the whole training camp with CD looming and Dak looming.
And it actually kind of turned out to take the air out of their sails at the beginning of the year. They started slow.
Yeah, Jerry paid them on week 1 Sunday. Who does that? Why would you let that roll through training camp? It's almost like they're waiting for them to get hurt so they could just say, well, we're not paying you, which is such scumbaggy behavior. Good luck with Micah next year, Jerry, also. It's just awful, awful, awful management from some of these bad teams. Cincinnati is deserving of every foul thing that comes to them on the field.